And the topic tonight is our roots. This is Muladhara, the root chakra, which is the chakra that supports all the above the other ones, our sense of feeling grounded and connected, solid, strong. So when we are thrown off the base, it can affect us physically, of course, as well as emotionally. So I invite you just to start here with your legs long and scan your body, starting at the toes, meandering up through the ankles, lower legs, knees, thighs, and the hips. The pelvis, the ilium is that name of that big, bold bone. Connecting spine to legs, legs to spine. And then tracing up the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Feeling the shoulder blades. Feeling your arms. Upper and lower arm. Wrists. And hands. Feel the back of the skull. And then notice, are you lying evenly? Left to right, right to left. What pokes into the ground? And then travel down the spine to your tailbone, the tip of the tailbone. That's where, according to some scholars, some teachers or gurus, says that in that general area is where the first chakra is located. Let's bend up the knees. And we'll bring the hands to the lower abdomen. And the breath that governs this chakra is diaphragmatic breathing. So as you breathe in and out, inviting your lower abdomen, expand into the palms of your hands. Settling into the rhythm of you. This is not to change rhythm, it changes with our emotional state. When we are relaxed, the breath tends to be deep and easy. When we feel grounded, and when we feel anxious, angry, agitated, the breath tends to be short and shallow. So by changing the breath consciously, we can begin to soothe ourselves. If we are not needing to be anxious or angry or agitated at that moment. Mula Bandha, the root, lot, or lift. As you exhale, contract the pelvic floor, drawing it upward. Releasing it on the in-breath. Mula Bandha and Pada Bandha, the arches of the feet, are strongly related. So we'll be working with our arches tonight to support the wellness of Mula Bandha, of the pelvic floor, the bottom of our basket. I feel how as you contract and release the pelvic floor, it invites your body to begin to draw into the arch and flatten. So on the next out breath, as you contract and draw the pelvic floor up, flatten the low back. Feel the lower abdomen flattening, pulling away from the palms of your hands, and then slowly release. Take a buffer breath here. And then inhale, arch. Exhale, we float to neutral. We take a breath in for nothing. And exhale again, flattening. Draw the pelvic floor up, hollowing out the belly. So it invites also Uddiyana Bandha, the lower abdominal lock, governing our dantian, our inner powerhouse. Let's take a buffer breath. We'll repeat this one more time. Inhaling and arching. And exhale, floating back to neutral. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, flattening, hollowing out. Wrapping everything you can around the tip of the tailbone. And then releasing. And let the breath go to neutral. We'll add a little bit of foot movement to this, getting a sense of these arches in our body. As you inhale, lifting the heels. So lift the heels up. You'll feel your calves contracting, letting that go. And on an out breath, you're going to lift the front of the foot, feeling at the front of the shins contracting. Play with that. Inhaling, lift the heels, putting on some super high heels. Letting that release. And on an out breath, I take a breath or so in between so I'm not just barreling back and forth. We're going to do that in just a second, not barreling, but we are going to combine. Sally, can you hear me?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
When you exhale and flatten your back, do you also tighten your glutes?
That's a good question. No.
Okay, I thought that
they want to help out.
Yeah, but when you said tighten everything around your tailbone, I thought,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute, am I supposed to do that?
So what I meant was,
Glutes.
yes, thank you for asking, Sally.
Okay.
I'll give a little bit more instruction on that.
Okay.
And that is, I hear this one teacher that one time said, just grab whatever you can find between your belly button and your knees if you're not sure what to contract. So we want to make it a little bit more discerning, viveka being the Sanskrit word, so that we don't overpower these smaller muscles with the little ones that are supposed to be doing the job. So let's go back to our pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, Mula root. And as you inhale, everything is not contracted. Lifting your heels. Now, as you exhale, drive the heels down, flatten the back, and then draw the pelvic floor up. So this gently driving down on the heels. Can you contract the pelvic floor? And to that, add your sphincter. That is Ashwini mudra. So not Mula Bandha mudra, but Ashwini mudra. Let's do that again. Inhale, arch, lifting the heels. And then exhale, drive the heels down to facilitate the flattening. Pelvic floor draws up, but also here, your sphincter. So this was taught by Fiona. She is a teacher from Mumbai. I take classes with her on occasions. Very stern Iyengar teacher. So I might just go back and forth, but she talked about this quite a bit in class. And if there are hemorrhoids, this is the contraction you really want to practice, Ashwini Mudra. But also for pelvic floor dysfunction, we need to get this bigger muscle group on, and then we can feel the more subtle contraction. So arching, heels lift, moving into the flattening. Toes lift. Is your head following along? As you arch and flatten. So one more time. And then from the flattening, slide your heels out long. Pause, and we are returning to where we started. You may feel a little bit more heat, energy around your feet and pelvis. For the contraction and releasing, we are really efficient on squeezing out stagnant blood and lymph and cells, and then drawing in fresh blood. So we feel this vibration and heat from this exchange. Well, one of the reasons yoga is so good for maintaining overall health, a little flushing of the system. So we're going to bend the knees up again. And then we're going to take a look at these locomotors that I talked about in the email. So with the legs up straight-ish, they don't have to be all the way straight. I want you to be able to see your feet, see your knees, and see your legs. So I'm just taking them straight up. This is a wonderful view of all that is normally below you is now above you. And as you look at your feet, you may notice that they are not exactly the same looking. Years and genetics, they are a little different. And then as things as bunions and hammer toes may begin to creep in, and often due to fascia higher up and how we use our feet. So spreading your toes wide, spread the toes wide. We're going to be working with this, but I want you to have like a first row seat to this little exhibit, because then we can actually picture it a little bit better. And then scrunch your toes tightly, scrunching the toes tightly. So remember, there are 26 bones in each feet, 32 joints that we need to have full mobility of. Spread the toes again, spread the toes widely. And then scrunch the toes, literally the root of our tree. So now looking at them, aren't they beautiful, your feet? Scrunching away here. And releasing that, and then draw the soles of the feet towards one another. So you're lengthening the outer seam of the legs. This is inversion. And then evert, draw the soles of the feet away from each other. And notice how, as you go back and forth, how when you invert, You might feel this more on the inner calf. And when you either turn the feet away from each other, you feel this on the outer calf. So we got some rubber bands. They're not very big or very strong, but it helps us give more mobility to our ankle joint. So on the back of the calf, let's give them a little tap. Tap the back of the calf. We have the gastrocs here, those are the big guys. And then underneath we have the soleus. Now the gastroc, they move, they connect around the ankle and above the knee. They connect to the thigh bone. The soleus, only the ankle, not the thigh bone. It inserts on the lower leg. So we use them differently, but we want both to be flexible because an imbalance here, that gets messy. The gastroc's job, along with the hamstring, the back of the thighs, is to bend the knee. That's what they do, the upper attachment. So as you bend your knees and straighten the legs, you feel the hamstring and you feel the gastrocs helping out. Straightening the legs, that's the front, that's our quads. We like strong quads. Big, the quads and our leg actions just go back and forth, bend and straightening the legs. Pointing the toes on top and look at your feet, because what we know, well, we don't quite know exists, we kind of stop paying attention to. Bend the knees, flex the ankle, straighten the legs, we go up. So just simple, but very beneficial mobility of ankle, hips, not so much hips, knees is what I'm trying to say, but we're going to get to the hips now as you take the feet down. Because to take care of our knees, we really need to take care of both ankle and hips, and we will tend to that in tonight's class. So with the legs bent up, one of my favorite movements, let's slide the right foot out. And about the time when your foot wants to lift up the front of the foot, so when you can't straighten the leg anymore without lifting the foot, we're going to flex the ankle. And then you're going to curl the toes under, so just the right leg. Lower the foot back down and slide it in. Let's make it a little crappy. Once in, lift the heel and then lower it down. We'll do that again. Slide the foot out. So we're asking for a lot of extension of the ankle joint, and then we flex the joint. Curl the toes under, so the joint is flexed, but my toes are put to the floor. And then I'm going to lower the bottom of the foot all the way down and slide the whole bit back in. And then lift the heel and lower. And let's repeat. Slide the leg out. Flex the ankle, curl the toes down, really give them a good squeeze, lower the foot. And as you do that, the toes begins to uncurl. So once you drag them back in, they have released the curling. Once in, we're going to lift the heel again. Let's do that a couple of more times. Just move at a pace that's comfortable for you, sliding out. Take your time. Flex the ankle up, curl the toes down, lower, and drag everything back in, and lift the heel, lower down. Last one, sliding. Flex the ankle, curl the toes down, lower, and let's slide it back in, and lift, and release. Let's just slide the legs out, both of them, and pause here. Breathing in and out, and notice sensations in your right leg. Sensations in your left leg. So there's no right or wrong way to feel this, but every time we pause and look inward, we are honing our sensory neurons. Let's bend up the knees, giving our motor cortex more information for better movement. So we'll bend the knees up again, and then we will continue with the left side, sliding it out. To be really curious about the event, bend the ankle and maybe spread your toes wide as you bend up, and then curl them under, lower down, sliding in, lift the heel, and lower down. We slide out again. Lift, flex the ankle up, maybe spread the toes. Curl the toes under, lower down. Sliding in. Feeling the blanket under your foot as you slide. Feel the sensations of the muscles contracting. And as always, if there's any discomfort, back off so that you are able to move without pain. Begin the rehabilitation from a place of ease, not dis-ease. It's going to be really challenging. Sliding, flexing, curling, lowering, and back home again. Lift the heel and lower down. Let's slide the legs out again. Pause. And so we'll bend the left leg up and keep the right leg long. And we'll draw the right heel up and we'll take it all the way in towards the chest. Hold the knee in. So this is a part of the psoas movement, but also for the quadricep. Put the foot back down, slide it out long. Press out through the heel so the quadricep engages, back of the leg lengthens, and then let go. Let the leg relax completely. Take a breath in and out as if you are getting to lay a little lower, a little deeper. And then I'll slide it in again. The quadricep, also part of the hip flexors, helps flex the knee towards the chest. We'll lower it down. And we slide it out. So it flexes at the top and extends at the bottom. It's a very cool muscle. Press out through the heel, press the leg long, and then let go. For the hamstring to release, the quadricep has to be able to extend fully. Let's do that one more time. Drag the heel up. Pull the knee in. Slowly lower. And we slide out long. Pressing out through the heel. Strong thigh action and let go. Let's slide the left leg out. pausing here. In particular, notice the sensation on the front of your hip joints. Does one feel a little bit more open, longer, and released? So what happens in our hips happens in our knees. Let's bend out the right leg, and then we'll repeat this on the left. Slide the left heel up. Draw the knee to the chest. Release the foot back to the floor. Just leisurely slide the heel out all the way up. Get that little bit more as you pull the toes to the shin. Quad fully engaged, and we let go. Breath in and out, belly breath. And then we repeat. Drag the heel up. One smooth movement. Draw the knee towards the chest. Controlled, lower the heel down and smooth continuation, straightening the leg. Contract the front of the thigh, the quad to straighten the knee completely. Pull the toes towards the shin, and then we let go. One more time. Taking it up. Releasing down with control. Slow, deliberate release and lengthen. And let go. And we'll take the right leg out. And pause again. And so working a little bit more with this connection, but now we'll do with the Baddha Konasana, the bent knee to the side. So sliding your right foot up, the right knee will go up to the side, sliding it out long. And do the left, from side to side. Back and forth. External rotation. So yes, your hip flexors are involved again, as is your hamstring. That's what pulls the heel up towards the tush, along with a little help from its friend, the gastroc. So can you sense the back of the thigh and the front of the thigh? Just the hip flexor bends the knee up, but has to release around the knee for the hamstring to fire. It's a beautiful thing, right? We don't have, thank God, we don't have to think about what muscle groups has to release and engage for us to do movement. Right now, we're just helping reestablish what may have gotten a little off kilter. Because we're going to take this one into our next event. All right, let's finish with this and pause. You may feel your tush laying a little flatter now, the piriformis having been released, so that changes the angle of the thigh bone in the socket. Again, helping the knee. And we have to work with one of the other big players. So let's roll over onto one side. I'm rolling over onto my right side. Don't matter which one you roll over onto, we're gonna go over onto both. I'm gonna take and put the leg, the top leg. So for me, it's my left leg is gonna be on top. And then from here, I'm gonna do the bottom leg. I'm gonna slide it up and out. So I'm using a little kickstand arm, reaching out. And let's extend it out. And then take your top leg. We're going to come into tree pose here. And where you start is where you start. You can help it up higher if that feels good on your body, or just let it be where it is. We're going to use the top leg to give us a little bit of inner thigh release. So you feel the heel. It's kind of going right down into your muscles. Keep reaching out through your bottom leg heel. And I'm just going to caterpillar my way down to the knee. I'm sort of digging in a little bit, caterpilling down. So I'm creeping the toes down. Giving myself a little abductor reset. So as I come down around the knee, and this can be extremely tender, your vastus medialis, tight little booger. And then when you come below the knees, to slide the leg up and down, slide it up and down. Getting into our inner legs. And we're going to do this one more time. Take the heel up and just caterpillar your way slowly down to the knee. So I want this gentle pressure from the heel into my medial quadricep and my adductors. Oy. So this is a move. This is from T.S., the great master T.S. If we have any knee thingies, trauma, he says this one here is really good to help bring balance around the knee. And once you get below the knee, brush again, brush, brush. And then from here, we're going to bend up both knees. And we'll take the top leg out straight. So it scoots back just a little bit. So top leg is out straight. I'm going to work a little bit with our IT band, iliotibia, which also crosses two joints, hip and below the knee. So that's why to get this whole outer band to release, we need to do it with a straight leg. But we're not going to do a big lift. Take your hand to your outer hip. Draw the hip back slightly. So it's almost like you're in a little back extension, not in a rounded back. And then take a breath in and lift the leg up. Yeah, maybe 3, 4, 5 inches, not a big lift. And then slowly lower down. This is a long lever. I'm not going to count you down. I'm going to let you be the judge of how slow you're going to move your leg down. Once down, we're going to just relax that completely. And pause. And then we'll repeat. Reach out through the heel. Draw the hips back and lift the leg. And I know from personally, my bottom hip wants to help out my top hip. So I have to really say, not your turn. I got to use these muscles there. And then we'll count them down. Maybe follow me from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, or go at your speed. I mean it. 3, 2, 1, and down. All the way down. letting go. And let's travel onto our back. Sliding the legs out and pause again. And notice that where the hip that you worked a little bit, did it make a difference? Do you lay a little flatter on that side now? Let's switch to the other side. So rolling onto the other side, I'm going to spin around so I can keep an eye on everything. So here again, top leg goes behind. Using my top arm as my kickstand. And so we started with the slides here, Baddha Konasana slides. So here again, I hear Adil Parkiwala, your teacher, some of you have heard me say it many times, when he often said in workshops, back in the days, we had workshops. Americans have to take groins. And so all this sliding is to help open up our hips. We sit in chairs a lot. And so everything tightens around the hip joints. All right, let's keep it straight. Keeping it straight. And then we come into our tree pose again. Placing it, the top heel as high on the inner groins as we can. So I'm right up on the side. And I'm keeping my bottom leg a little active. And then I begin to creep my way down. Caterpillar or inchworming. My way down, just going to grab the flesh as I pull myself down with the heel digging in. Oh, and there is that lower part of my quadricep again. And once I have traversed over the knee, we did our sliders all the way down to the inner heel. So this is the kidney line, liver in Chinese medicine. We're working on this and we'll repeat going back up. And take your time. Who's in a hurry? Creeping down. So laying all the way up on your side. Traveling to the knee. How does this side feel compared to the other side? And then slide, slide, slide. Really good movement if you know somebody with neuropathy, thingies, stimulating nerve pathways. And then from here, we are ready to move on to the IT band. So bend up the knees and we'll take the top leg out in front. Straightening the leg, reach out through the heel, but pull the hip back. Pulling the hip back. So it feels like, again, you're in a little bit of a back bend. And take a breath in and lift. Lift when you can feel, oi, oi, oi. And from 8, maybe follow 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Done. And let go. Let go. Did your bottom hip help out? I wanted to. Let's give it another go. When you're ready, on an in breath, hips back, and lift. Feel muscle is contracting, outer hip, not a big muscle. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're down. Letting go. Letting go. And we're going to come all the way onto the belly. So as you come onto your abdomen, we'll work with our hamstrings. Drawing the hips down gently, so not harshly. And we'll bend up the right leg. So we're going to isolate the legs. You're not doing them together because that can get a little confusing. We can't hear as well. So as you pull your heel towards the tush, pressing the hips down, you feel the back of the leg. It's turned on. And we're going to release from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Breathing in and out. So isn't it nice? We are both lengthening and strengthening simultaneously. It's an eccentric release. We're going to do that again. Draw the heel towards the tush. Remember the hamstring also crosses two joints. It bends the knee, and the upper part helps with hip extension. So you may feel if you almost lift the knee away, your glutes begins to contract. So they work together, hamstring and glutes, but we really don't want them to be ahead of the glutes. And we're going to release again from this time 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Letting go. Notice if there is that jumpy jitteriness in the release, that signifies that there's a little confusion in the muscle. Motor amnesia is what Thomas Hanna calls this. Now roll your heel in a little bit. So we're going to isolate the fibers of the hamstring. So as you bend the knee, it will cross it'll cross over your left leg. So the thighs, the hip is neutral, but the knee bends inward. And we're going to release out here from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And now we're going to roll it the opposite. So feel the lower leg turning out a little bit. We're going to bend the knee, and it's going to kick more out to the sides. And notice how this action is different than when we came straight down the middle. different muscle fibers. And let's go from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. And we'll come straight down the center one more time. Draw the heel to the tush. Bend. Press the hips down. And from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Letting go. And we'll switch to the other side. Bending up the other heel. Give it a squeeze. So we started just from 10. If we start, I think it was 12. And 11. 10. Keep pressing the hips down. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And down. Everything pulls. And then we did the longer. Pull up again. And press the hips down from 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And then we rolled the heel in for the inner fibers. Bend the knee. So you'll be more on the inside of the knee. Leg crosses over the other leg. 12, so smaller fiber. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Pause and breathe. And roll to the outside of the knee. Bend the knee. Feel how this feels different of what fibers are contracting. From 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Breathe in and out. And let's bookend this one. Straight up. Pull the heel to the tush. Hips down. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Breathing in and out. And then coming up on the form and take your elbows in a tad bit. So we're in a little Sphinx pose. A little variation of the Cobra Crocodile today. Bending up both legs. Pull and press the heels together. Press the heels together. And then inhale, lengthen the belly button up towards the spine as you draw the heels towards the tush. So a variation of bow pose, not boat. I'll do the opposite. And exhale, release. Take the legs all the way down. Pausing. And then tuck the toes under. So feet are about hip width apart. Now imagine you have a block between the heels. And so you're going to press the heels into this imaginary block, press the hips down. And then the heels block and back into the block and back. Now can you sense, can you feel that the pelvic floor and your arches, your heels pressing inward, that there is a relationship? Pressing in, lengthen the belly button up towards the sternum. There's a lot of stuff going on here. And letting go. Everything releases down. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let's find our way onto the back. So just slide one arm under the other and roly-poly. We are back where we started, on our backs. Let's draw the legs together. So create a unileg. Inhale, draw the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers, press the palms back. Legs together, grounded, long and strong. And we're going to take the arms up. Switch the interlace, press the palms to the sky. And again, take the arms overhead. Tailbone to the heels. Pressing out through the heels, through the heels, through the heels. And take the arms up and we'll release back into Shavasana. Pause. So as you breathe in and out, this meditation on Muladhara Chakra. We'll conclude with that and with the Aswini Mudra again. As you breathe in, pause, and then gently contract the sphincter muscle twice. And then exhale. Pause the breath, contract again. And then inhale. Pausing, so in the pauses between the in-breath and the out-breath, the kumbhaka, 2 quick contractions on the Sphinxter Ashwini Mudra, stimulating again the root chakra, awakening according to the yoga philosophy. This is our subconscious self, where the Kundalini yoga or snake, cobra, is asleep, and the practice awakens our unconscious so we can see what is in our karmic, trying to find the word for the karmic darkness, what we need to change, what we can change through awareness. Let's bend up the knees. Rock the knees gently from side to side. And we'll roll all the way over onto one side. Who am I? Why am I here? And where am I going? The questions that we pose as a yogi to bring purpose, dharma, to all of it. Let's use our hands to press up. Into a comfortable seated posture. We'll bring our palms together. Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita ponders these questions. What's my purpose? And Krishna, God personified, says the greatest purpose of all is to be in service of others. And with that, we'll end with Om Shanti, 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 Om, praying for peace globally, locally, and within, so that we may be fulfilled truly in service. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Thank you. Namaste.